Roger, Low Vision Product Manager here at HumanWare. In this video, I'm going to go into capturing documents or images to save to your Prodigi for Windows software and the available settings to you. Let's go ahead and open up our magnifier. As you can see, I've already logged into Prodigi here. I'm using my mouse today, so I'll click on magnifier and we'll go right in here, and you can see that I have my HoverCam Solo 8 Plus connected and I have a document underneath. You may recall from other videos that we can autofocus lock by double clicking on the screen. So I'll double click there, and now my camera will stay focused on my document at all times. Quick review of a couple of other items on this screen. In the lower left is the back arrow that will take me back to my main carousel. And then in the right, plus sign to zoom in, lower right. Next to it to the left is a minus sign to zoom back out. Camera for capture, a couple of arrows interlocking to rotate 180 degrees. And then I have my settings gear wheel, which I'm going to go into very quickly here before I show you taking a capture with my camera, just to remind you of the settings that are available in here. So again, here are my settings. I already have a camera. I'm fine with my other settings as they are currently set up. I'm going to click and drag down just to remind you at the bottom of the list are settings that I'll want to use when I'm performing captures. Recall we're in a live mode right now. In a live mode, as we were just viewing a moment ago, we will only capture one page at a time. When we cancel out or save our document, we will return to our live magnification mode. I'm going to show you the multi-capture mode as well today, but for now, let's leave it on live and I'll show you how that works. A moment ago, you saw me double click on my screen. This locked my focus. This is an option that can be useful, especially when we're going to be performing captures and moving documents around underneath of the camera. Next is my speech. I have it enabled for documents only. So again, just
Speech
to
menu,
remind you,
3 items.
documents only
Documents
is
only,
turned on.
checked.
Speaking over Darius there, but we could have it on all the time and we could turn it off completely. I'm going to leave it on documents only for now. Continuing down, I have my optical character recognition, or OCR, enabled right now, and we're going to go ahead and leave that in place. And then if you'll recall from back when I quickly showed you my magnifier a few moments ago, my document is in English, so let's make sure that our system language, it is in fact English. You've heard it speaking already, so we're good to go with that. If I had a French document, another language, I could scan down here and change to another language before I perform my capture. So we'll just leave it on system language for now, and we'll use our back arrows in the upper left to come back out to our document. And again, remember, we are in a live mode. We are going to perform a capture now using the camera, center right icon in the lower right of the screen, to capture the page that we're looking at. So you'll notice that it immediately applied my contrast settings that I have set up for myself when I perform a capture. I have black on yellow as my preferred contrast. And you can see that we have done that OCR in English and converted this text into our diamond edge, that lossless font. So again, we can zoom way in on this and it will maintain a really nice, clean, crisp text for us to view there. So in the lower right, again, we've captured this right now. So there are a couple of options that we can put into play right now. The first is to click and hold on the screen, or you'll notice a triangle with a pointer to the right that you can click on to start reading immediately. It's going to use my system voice in English if I choose that. So let's go ahead and do that.
The planet is heating up and fast polar bears are being threatened. They need ice for hunting seals, their primary prey.
You probably noticed that my toolbar, when I started reading, dropped down and it left a tab in the center of the screen. I simply clicked on that to bring it back so that I could pause again. Of course, once we've captured a document, I can click and drag to move it around. I'm using the wheel on my mouse to zoom in and zoom out right now. You have your plus and minus signs in the lower right corner there to zoom in and zoom out. And then to the left of that lit up play button is our diamond edge option. So I can click there and go back to a pure color view of my document, and you can see that where reading is happening, Prodigy is applying my favored color combination of yellow on black. So we can go back and forth between those different settings there. So before I save this, and saving happens in the far right corner, there's a little disk over there. Let's go into the gear wheel to see what our options are with a captured document. Contrast color, you've seen that. So we can go between full color document and positive and negative options. Those were covered in another video, so you can change those. Come down to contrast color. This is where you saw that black on yellow a moment ago. That's my preferred contrast that I set. Let's go ahead and show how this works again, just once more. Let's go back to defaults, although I will drag down here again just to remind you that there are many available color contrast options for you to choose from. So whichever one suits your eyesight the best. I'm going back to default. I'm going to back out with that back arrow in the upper left corner to my document, and you'll see now we are in a white on black. Remember, your shortcut to changing your contrasts between your preferred and full color is a screen gesture with a finger if you have a touch screen, dragging down or sliding up on the right side of the screen, but you can do it with a mouse by just clicking and dragging your mouse up or down. You'll see that it rotates between the available contrast options to me. Let's go back into our settings there. So that's your contrast colors. You can change the brightness of your document. So we'll back out there and come back out to look at our document. You can see that it is brightened up considerably there. And then we can actually change our reading voice. If we didn't want to hear Darius anymore, we could switch to another installed English voice. Remember, I have installed other languages, Klaus's German and Luis's French. If I were to select them, they are not going to read this English document in German or French. What they will do is try to apply the rules of German or French to the English text that they're seeing, so it really won't sound very good. But I do have a Microsoft voice down here that I can switch to, and you can listen to him instead of Darius.
Pray. However, the ice caps are melting, making their hunting periods shorter each year as a result.
So there is the Microsoft voice that my system has provided for me. I'm going to scroll down here again. You can change your speech settings. You'll recall
Speech menu, 3 items. Documents only, checked.
We looked at this a moment ago. We have it set to documents only. You can turn speech off from here, and you can turn it on so it speaks throughout the entire system if you want. So you have access to change your speech settings. We have reading mode for the page that you've captured here. Right now, we're in a full page mode when we're seeing the page. Let's tap on this to look at the submenu and see what's available to us. Again, we're seeing the full page right now. Let's switch to a line mode. That's where you'll see the biggest change the fastest. And we'll hit our back arrow in the upper left. Come back to our document. Again, we're seeing the document in its layout right now. But if I decide that I want to start reading, I'll click the triangle down here in my toolbar.
Of 1A healthy diet, healthy eating is one of the most effective ways to protect your health. In fact, up to 80% of premature stroke.
So we're in a reading mode right now, and it is showing a line of text right now that's being read aloud. Notice that there is a settings option available while I'm reading. Let's just take a peek in there. And you can see that a set of the different settings that we've been looking at are available, but we also have a couple of extras because we're in a reading mode. So let's set our font size to standard and apply that. And let's go ahead and set our font type to regular, and let's hide our highlights and see if that changes our reading experience when we exit back out again.
Strokes and heart diseases can be prevented by making the right choices and lifestyles, like a healthy diet and a physically active life. UI eating habits can.
So you saw there that we had a standard font size. We had a regular font type instead of bold now, and the highlight was the display that you saw as it was reading along. The word was in a box around it during the reading process there. So some available settings while you're in reading. In addition, you can click on your plus and minus to increase your font size for that line reading mode as well. So those tools are available to you when you're having a document read aloud. Let's use the back arrow all the way to the left of this toolbar, and we will return out to our document here, which we can then again zoom, and we can click and drag it around. We can zoom, click and drag on the right of the screen here to change our contrast colors. And again, I'm using the wheel right now. I could be using my plus and minus over here. So we've covered all of the settings that are available to us with a captured document. And in this case, it's a single page that we've captured. Let's click on this little disc-shaped icon to the far lower right corner of the screen. It will save that document to our Files application, and now we're back in our live view. Here's my hand moving underneath here, okay? So that is a single page capture, one page document saved to our files, which we will take a look at in just a moment. Let's take a look at one additional setting that we can utilize. Again, I'm in my live mode right now. Let's click on this gear wheel and let's use the scroll bar to scroll down. And remember, our mode is live. When we're live, we're seeing one page, we're seeing it live to do what we want in a live viewing mode. If we choose to do a capture, it's going to capture only that one page or that one thing that we're looking at right now. There is another option there if I click onto this, and we will move into a multi-capture mode. I see the other options that I've had previously, so I can adjust those if I would like to, but I want to show you what the meaning of a multi-capture is. So now let's hit that back arrow in the upper left, return back to a live mode here. And what we will do is move that document out and we will bring in a different document here. So I'm going to place this document in here and you'll see how this functions. I will come down here. Again, we have a rotate button. We have access to the settings. We've already seen those. I'm going to click on the camera and you'll see a message saving page one. So now it goes right back to live mode so that I can turn the page because we're doing multiple captures here. I'll rotate my page over and tap again, saving page two. So now let's go ahead and turn the page here and we will capture the last page that's in this document. So in this instance, we're not presenting the captured document on screen. So we cannot read it or do anything with it right now. We're just rapidly capturing pages. So this can be useful if you know that you're going to have a multiple page document that you need to read and navigate. You'll capture it all at once, get it saved, and then you'll be able to go back and read it. So let's go to the right here, click, and it will save and take me directly to that document in my Files application now. And I can click and see that I've captured each of the pages in there. And I can open each of them individually by clicking on them. So here is that very first page of the document. You can see we've captured it. We've applied our Diamond Edge text to it. It is very zoomable. I'm clicking and dragging on the screen right now, and I have available settings down here that I can utilize that we've explored in other videos and so forth. So now I have a multi-page capture here. If I hit my back arrow in the lower left corner here, I come back out to my document and basically I've got it saved. It's just taking me there so that I can see it. I can read it. I can massage it a little bit if I want to, make sure that I have everything that I want captured. Now I can hit this arrow in the upper left corner here and it will navigate me back out to my live view. I am still in a multi-capture mode right now. So if I want to go back to standard live viewing mode, I need to click on my gear wheel, go into my settings, come back down and change my mode to live viewing mode, which is probably what you're going to use most of the time. And now I'm in a live viewing mode and my toolbar has changed so that I am going to be able to basically do one capture at a time instead of a multi-capture. So this is an overview of capturing documents with Prodigy for Windows. I hope that you found this instructive. Please take a look at the description of this video and find that feedback link. Click it and let us know how we're doing. It's how we best improve our products and services to meet your needs. Thanks again.